Hi students, in the last lecture we had studied about the Poynting theorem. The Poynting theorem states that in a uniform plane wave at any point the product of electric field intensity E and magnetic field intensity H, it measures the rate of energy flow at that point. Mathematically, P is equal to E into H. So in this lecture we will discuss about the power flow in concentric or coaxial cable. So, coaxial cable is a type of electrical cable. It consisting of an inner conductor which is surrounded by a concentric conducting shield. That means it consists of two conductors. This is the inner conductor and this is the outer conductor, copper mesh. It is in the form of a mesh, and in between these two conductors they are separated by a dielectric or insulating material. So this is the inner conductor. It is a copper wire and this is a copper mesh. Here we are using an insulation, and at the outer surface of this copper mesh we are using an outer insulation. It is otherwise known as the jacket. So consider this figure. Here it is showing this is the inner conductor and this one is the outer conductor. The current is giving to the inner conductor and it is flowing in this direction, and it will flow through this resistor, and its return path is through the outer conductor. The current is going like this, and the potential difference between the inner conductor and outer conductor is taking as V. And this is the cross-sectional area of the coaxial cable. Here it is showing this one is the inner conductor and this is the outer conductor. This large circle is the outer conductor, and the direction of electrical field is showing like this. This arrows representing the electric fields, and the magnetic field formed inside this conductor is marked by this concentric circles. This is H and this is E. And the radius of inner conductor is taking as A, and the radius of outer conductor is taking as B, and both are copper conductors. Here this one, that is 2A, it represents the diameter of inner conductor, that is the radius is A, and this 2B is the diameter of outer conductor. That is we already told that the radius is B and the diameter is 2B. Okay, that is about this figure. Then we know if there is any current which is flows through the inner conductor, there will be an electric field and as well as a magnetic field. So we are going to apply the Ampere's circuital law here. So according to the Ampere's circuital law, that is the magnetic field in around a closed path is equal to the current enclosed by the closed path. That is the Ampere's circuital law. That is the closed path, that is closed integral H dot dl gives the current enclosed by that closed surface. So H, the closed integral dl, is equal to I. Here the length is 2 pi r. That is we are taking the surface, that is the circumference of the circle, that is 2 pi r, is equal to I. From this equation we get H is equal to I divided by 2 pi r into Az. This is the unit vector, or it shows the direction. And we know according to the Gauss's law, we know the closed integral d dot ds is equal to the charge q. we had studied in second module and we have derived the electric field strength of a coaxial cable, that is E is equal to V divided by R ln B by A. It is already we derived in second module. The derivation is showing here. Let rho L be the linear charge density, then d dot the closed integral ds is equal to rho L into L. Here ds is equal to 2 pi R L, then L become cancel, then d is equal to rho L divided by 2 pi R. From this equation d is equal to, we know the equation for d is equal to epsilon into E. From this E is equal to, apply the value for d, that is rho L divided by 2 pi R into epsilon 0. It is the unit vector AR. Then potential is equal to, the equation is minus integral B to A E dot dl. From this V is equal to integral B to A rho L divided by 2 pi epsilon 0 R dr. On deriving this or continuing this equation, we get the value V is equal to rho L divided by 2 pi epsilon 0 ln B by A. From this we get the value for electric field strength E is equal to V divided by R ln B by A into AR. It is derived already in second module. Please refer that. We know the value of Poynting vector. According to the Poynting theorem, the power flow at a point is equal to the cross product of E and H. That is P is equal to E cross H. Let us consider the power of a small area ds here. Then we are taking P is equal to integral A to B E cross H ds. And we know E cross H is equal to EH sin theta. And here E and H are always orthogonal to each other. So the value for sin theta is equal to sin 90 and that is equal to 1. So E cross H becomes equal to EH. So here the value of E is V divided by R ln B by A AR and H is I divided by 2 pi R AZ. So we get the Poynting vector P is equal to Vi divided by 2 pi R square ln B by A. So the total power that is we are taking the integral, that is from the, we take the integration from the lower radius to higher radius. Here the lower radius, that is the radius of inner conductor is A, to the outer conductor is radius is B. So we take the power P is equal to integral A to B E cross H ds. This E cross H is equal to EH because E and H are orthogonal to each other. Then E cross H is equal to EH sin theta, that is sin 90. Sin 90 is equal to 1. Then E cross H is equal to EH. And if we cut the arbitrary radius, the topper portion will be 2 pi R and this is the thickness, that is dr. So we are considering this area here. So ds becomes this ds is a point here, ds is equal to 2 pi R into dr. Then we know this value becomes, that is power is equal to integral A to B EH 2 pi R. This ds becomes, substitute this value for ds, that is 2 pi R dr. So we know the value for E and the value for H. Substitute that values. Then we get V by R ln B by A. It is the value for E, and H is equal to I by 2 pi R, and here also 2 pi R into dr. Then this 2 pi r and 2 pi r get cancelled each other. Then we get the value for power is equal to integral a to b vi r ln b by a dr. Here also one integral is there, integral a to b. Then what we get, P is equal to Vi. This voltage, current, radius all are constants. So we can take this outside, Vi divided by ln B by A. Then integrate this term, that is dr divided by r. That is here the radius is the changing value is only the radius. The voltage and current are constant. So the inner radius and outer radius is constant, and this arbitrary radius is changing. So we can take in the integral, that is a to b dr divided by r. So after integrating this, we get Vi divided by ln b by a ln r, the other term, that is integral a to b dr divided by r becomes ln r, natural logarithm r. Then the limit is a to b. Then apply the limits, Vi divided by ln b by a. This is ln b, upper limit, minus the lower limit ln a. And it is again becomes Vi divided by ln b by a. This can be written as ln b by a. This ln b minus ln a can be written as ln b by a. So this ln b by a and ln b by a get cancelled each other. So we get the value for the power is equal to Vi. So the power flow in a coaxial cable is the product of voltage and current. That is the power flow in a coaxial cable. The equation is P is equal to Vi. Thank you.